All right, guys. Okay, so seems you guys can hear me loud and clear. Okay, let's begin. All right, today is going to be a pretty special webinar. I keep saying that, but today is really going to be something really fun. One of those webinars where in like 15 minutes, in like 15-20 minutes, you can actually build something that's super cool. Okay, that's ridiculously fun. And you know what the webinar is about. Obviously, it's in the description. It's on the title. But yeah, this has been a pretty pretty requested webinar actually. A lot of people like over the few webinars that we've done in the past, a lot of you have been saying, where's WhatsApp dark mode? Where is WhatsApp dark mode? So I'm going to cut right to it. Okay, I'm not going to spend a lot of time on the intro today. I've been told that I talk about this motivation and why you should do why you should do web development for a long time. Not going to do that today. Obligatory plug for the Webmaster Bootcamp. We built it at Edyst with a lot of love. It's to help aspiring web development web developers to pick up web development. We start from the very basics. I've talked about it in a lot more detail earlier. Today I'm going to do something a little different. I'm going to tell you to go check out the link to the Edyst Webmaster course in the description below, and probably towards the end of the video I'll come around and give you more details. So if you stick around there, and if you had some doubts about the Webmaster Bootcamp itself, we can take that up at the end of this video. You know what today's webinar is about. I don't need to keep saying it. So this is where it's at, guys. That's Drake basically saying dark mode, that's my jam, right? And for everyone who's been asking us, where's dark mode, just do something with WhatsApp web. I know you guys really liked it. That time that we built WhatsApp web, we're going to take it up a notch. We're going to do something super cool with it. From this is what we're going to build. Okay, basically from this, okay, which this is the same screen that we built in a past webinar. I think it was 3 weeks ago. I think the link to the previous webinar where we built this, the normal light mode themed WhatsApp, we did that a few weeks ago. From this, we're going to go and build this. All right, and it's going to be super easy. It's going to be it's one of those webinars where you say, oh man, is that how you do it? All right, and if you're willing to code along with us, please do. I don't say this enough, guys. Like, share, subscribe. The more people that come to these videos, the more interaction you guys have with us, the more questions you ask us, the more fun it is for all of us. All right, so make sure you tell your friends about this, either during the video, after the video. With that, I think I'm going to start. All right, and here's the beauty about what we're going to do. Okay, so today's video is basically going to be in three different parts, three small parts. I'll keep referring to the screen again and again, just to kind of give you guys some context as to what we are doing while we are doing it. The first thing that we are going to do is that, see, dark mode is all about colors, right? So what do I mean by that? Let me just quickly show you. All right, so this is our this is where we started off, right? I mean, we're going to start off from where we left off last time. This is what we had built. Now WhatsApp web, okay, this thing is all about playing with colors. Okay, nothing else changes. The buttons don't change, the text content doesn't change. What you'll notice is it's all about colors. Okay, so this background is going to become super dark, right? This light gray background that you see is going to become this. The color of the text is going to change. So it's all a play on colors, right? So the first thing that we're going to do is that we're going to take out all the colors that we had defined, and you know how we define colors, right? We do something like hash, 303030 to give us a like a nice dark gray sort of color, or we say, you know, something like color colon blue. But that's us saying the actual name of the color. Okay, instead what we're going to do in this video is we're going to extract all of those into CSS variables. That's the first part, and we'll get to it in just a little bit. The second part is adding a class for dark mode. Okay, this will not make too much sense unless you actually see me do it. So just keep the steps in mind, just keep the structure in mind, what we're going to do. And the third bit, okay, after we've achieved the magic of actually converting our thing into dark mode, we'll add a button that is going to toggle dark mode for us. Okay, I think that's a lot more fun. Otherwise, you know, essentially what this webinar is basically just changing colors. Okay, that's not fun. What would be fun is if we added like a toggle. Okay, click on this button and it gives you dark mode, click on this button, it gives you light mode, right? So something like that. And with that, let us begin, guys. Just a quick refresher of how we did the WhatsApp web the previous time. We have this main class called as container. Okay, that's your container class. Then we have, you know, we've defined this guy, this main screen inside the main tag. Again, main and section are semantic tags. You can use a div, just a general purpose div is also fine, but I like using tags that, you know, inherently make some sense. The first section was the user list section, which again, you know, is divided into 3 different parts. And then the second section is kind of, you know, the messages section. I don't want to complicate it too much. I don't want to keep this as a really long video. So we'll just focus on you know, getting this to this state. Okay. I hope you guys are with me. I hope you guys are fired up. Let's go ahead and do this. Okay. So all the magic of dark mode. Okay, and I'll show it to you in just 1 second right now. Okay, just a minute. All the magic is in those 3 steps. Okay, the first is defining all of our colors. Okay, so let's think of something that we want to change. Okay, assuming that, you know, we assuming a dark mode has already been applied. Let's see what would change here. So I'm going to take the background over here. Okay, this background has a nice little you know, it's a gradient, right? That's how we defined it here. The background of the container is a nice gradient. Starts with a color. So this is the color 009688 and goes all the way till 20%, and after 20% to the rest of it is this light gray color. But you'll notice that over here, okay, there's no like shade. Okay, at the end of the day, this just becomes like one solid color. Okay, so that's what we're going to do. Let's tackle that first, and then we can go ahead and kind of fix up all of the other colors. All right, to do that, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to define some colors. Okay, I'm going to define some CSS variables that will hold my colors for me. For instance, instead of directly pasting this color over here, I could say something like background gradient top is this color. Okay, and background gradient bottom is this color over here. Okay, so I'm basically saying that in the rest of my CSS, I am not going to be writing this color. Okay, instead what I'll write is this. So I'll write something like var background gradient top. Okay, this is the syntax for defining a CSS variable. We'll leave some reading material in the description below so that you guys can go around and read about what a CSS variable is. Basically what you have to understand is when the CSS looks at this, okay, when it tries to make sense of, hey, what is this line, I don't get it, then it's going to go to this variable, and then whatever is inside here, it's just going to kind of paste that. Okay, so you'll see that nothing breaks because I added this. So I'm going to go ahead and sort of replace my other two colors with this as well. And let's replace these two colors. Okay, you'll notice now all the four kind of colors, all the four colors are basically the same. We don't want that. So we do bottom and we have bottom. Okay, so this is how we're going to kind of extract all of the colors out into CSS variables. All right, color for this, for the text color, for the status highlight, etc. Now, where does dark mode come into all of this? Okay, dark mode says, the way we are going to use dark mode is we're going to add a class to the main container. Okay, to our main page, we're going to add a class called as dark. Okay, and what I'm going to do here in this dark class, okay, is that I'm going to redefine these colors. All right, and as you know, CSS is CSS basically works on inheritance. Okay, which basically means that everything inside here is going to try and inherit certain properties from its parent. So something like, for instance, is there a paragraph somewhere? So yeah, if there was a paragraph somewhere here, then how does the paragraph know which color to get? So it looks to its parent. What color does the parent have? The parent doesn't have anything explicitly set, looks to the grandparent, and so on, right? So by the time we come to this container, okay, and it's trying to add, it's trying to kind of find out what the background gradient is, I'm saying if you have a parent that has a dark class, okay, then I want to change your color. How do I want to change your color? What do I want to change it to? Let's just kind of grab the color from here. Let's see, let me take the color picker. Okay, this is the color that we need, and let me go ahead and kind of add the, so now I want my gradients to look this way. Okay, so you see the beauty of this now. So suppose I remove this dark class. Okay, the container is going to pick the colors from whatever was defined initially. Okay, at the root, at the very root, whatever colors were defined, it's going to pick those. But if I add the dark class to the container, it's going to pick from it's going to pick from the dark class here. Okay, anything inside, okay, if you're looking to change a variable or something, it's going to pick from this dark class. All right, just gonna take a quick minute just to kind of see if you guys have any questions for me. Shreyari asks, can we store the entire linear gradient in variables instead of just storing hex values? Absolutely, you can. That should not be a problem. All right, so you could do something like background color, linear gradient. At least I think you can. Okay, yeah, I think you can. I'm pretty sure you can, right? We could try that out, but we'll probably take it out probably towards the end. All right. All right, Srikanth has a couple of really interesting questions. How to add a search logo to the search bar? Oh, okay. So this is something that we covered, I think the last time that we did in the last webinar where we built WhatsApp web. I basically use an icon font. Okay, so I think in this one I'm using something like Material UI icons. There are a couple of other famous ones like I think Font Awesome is a pretty famous icon library. So yeah, you got to use that. You can position it absolutely if you want, or you can just have like a span here and a thing over there. All right. So guys, just a quick reminder. This is all there is to it. Okay, this is all there is to dark mode. Like we'll flesh it out, we'll finish it. Don't worry. But just going back here, what's our strategy for any website that you do? All the colors that you use, okay, extract them into CSS variables, put them in the root section, okay, the root of the document, define all the colors, and then add a class called dark or dark mode, whatever you want to call it. And when you apply that class, basically it's going to overwrite all of the colors. All right, And if you overwrite it, then obviously it's going to go ahead and change how the rest of the page looks like. All right, so step 1, step 2, and finally we'll see how to add a button. Okay, but I hope that you get the idea by now. All that button is going to do, okay, and we saw this in the last webinar where we did Slack. All that the button is going to do is it's going to go back and just add this thing called dark. Okay, that's literally all that the button is going to do. Okay, so when you click on it, it's going to toggle the dark mode. When you click on it, it's going to add this class. When you click on it again, it's going to remove the class. All right, so we'll get to adding the button towards the very end. Hopefully you can see how easy it is to do dark mode right now. Let's get to building this part. All right, so this and this guy here, okay, both of them seem to have the same color, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. So I'm going to say background to the user list, okay, and this is what I want in my dark mode, right? This is what I want for my dark mode, and let's see, I think this is the background color that we are looking for. Not too sure. Oh, okay, yeah, so that's pretty much what we want. Yeah, background user list, right? So that's what we're going to paste in here. Gives us a nice background right here. The other thing that we have to change is the we don't have to change the box shadow. I think the box shadow is all right. We may need to change like the border. Okay, so we'll have to search around for where it is that we're adding the border. Oh, okay, we're adding it here. Okay, this section. So we can change the section borders over there. That's going to be simple. I'm just trying to see, so these guys over here and the search bar over there. Okay, so the search container needs a background color. All right, so you know what, I'm gonna use a slightly different syntax. All right, I'm going to say that, hey, if you find this background search container, okay, if you find this variable, okay, then go ahead and use that value. If you don't find it, go ahead and use this default value. Okay, we could do that, or we could just be nice people and kind of keep it here. So it's the first thing that I want to define. We had F6, F6, F6. Let's see, and the background to the user list, right? Background to the user list was what again? Okay, so we have that ready. All right, let's see. So we want this to change, right? So we have a background search container to this, but actually what we want the background search container to be in the dark mode, we want it to be this darkish color. All right, similar to what we have here. All we need to do is we need to change the rest of the colors. Okay, so we got this done. It's just that these entries, okay, I think we are defining them in that's interesting. Where are we defining them? So we have a list class, padding, this column thingy over here. Okay, and I think we might actually be using it there, is it? So we have a div called as column. Okay, let me just go ahead and see if I can change the background color to blue. Okay, so it doesn't change the background color for the entire thing. I think we may need to apply it to the list itself. All right, because the list I think has has two parts there. Okay, so I think this is where it is. All right, the user list. Let me just call this the user list. All right, and instead of UL, I'm just going to say user list over here. All right, and for the user list, what I want to do is I want to basically change the background color. All right, so I'm going to say background user list. All right, and in my light mode, which basically which means over here when I don't have my dark mode, I just want it to be I want it to be normal. I want it to be a nice okay, so I want it to be white here, but when it's when it's not dark mode, I want it to be a different color, right? So you can see that if I were to remove dark now, okay, we'd get back our original thing. But if I just add dark, we're going to go ahead and change the colors here. The next thing that we need to do is we need to change all of our text colors, guys. The text color isn't looking so hot, so all of this got to be in white. This has got to be a much it's got to be a much lighter shade of gray, I think. All right, so I think we need to change both of these. We definitely need to change our borders. Okay, their borders are a lot darker, so we definitely need to change that. So let's go ahead and say border for the user list. All right, and I think typically the user list has let's go ahead and change the border for the section actually. All right, so I'm going to say var border section, and instead of user list, let's just start off with section first. So when it's light, I want it to be this. When it's dark, I want it to be much darker. Let's see, how does 444 look? Is it dark enough? Again, not sure it's dark enough. How about 222? Yeah, 222 seems all right. I don't know, 222, 333. Both of them look good actually. I'm gonna go with 222. All right, looks just looks all right. It looks better. All right, so I want this color over here, and I think this color over here. So I need these two colors pretty quickly, and then I'll get to working on the text colors. All right, so we have this. Let's give it a nice variable. So we can say background user profile. All right, let's just call it background user profile, and in the light mode, this guy is going to have a different color, right? So let's go ahead. I think it's the nav. I think this is the nav section where we added the color. Yeah, there you go. So we're going to remove that from here. We're going to add it over here, and we're going to set the color using this user profile variable. Okay, as you can see, when it's in the dark mode, it's going to pick up the dark mode colors. Okay, when it's in the light mode, it's going to obviously pick up the light mode colors. The search background is going to change. All right, so for the input, we have our input container here, right? So basically I'm going to do something like background for the input container. All right, and if you don't find it, then basically just give it a white color. I can go ahead and I can define it in my dark mode here. I can say background input. Okay, again, shouldn't probably call it input, we should probably call it search chat. Okay, I just want to be able to give better names. All right, might seem like the names, what difference does it make? I think it's just easier for you to understand or to refer to it when you come back to it after a while. All right. So instead of background input, we're going to call it background search chat. All right. That's that. We're still adding like a background here. All right. So I'm going to call it. I'm going to ask it to inherit the background from its parent. So there you go, guys. One last sort of ugly thing is, is this separator over here. I do not want that. So just before we do that, again, we need to add it for the light mode as well. And in light mode, I think this was white, if I remember correctly. Let's see, we need to get rid of this really whitish border. Okay, that's not good. So let's see, where do we have this? This should be somewhere in that user list. All right. Yep, there you go. This is the border top that we had. So I'm going to say border to the user list item. Okay. Or I mean, we could just say border to the user list, give it a default value. Okay. If in case this is not defined, then pick EEE. Okay. You don't have to do it. Like once you define it in both places, it just kind of makes no sense to define it different places. But again, we're going to go with something a lot darker. Okay. Let's just move all of our borders into one section and all the backgrounds into one section. Right. There you go, guys. Looking pretty good now, right? It's looking pretty good. You might want to play around with these colors a little, right? Probably 222. You would like something a little lighter, so just go ahead and play around with that. So I'm just gonna see if there's a nice color that we can use, but I think we should just leave it at 222. I think it's not the exact same color, but I doubt I'll get the exact color here. Oh man, it's literally just one line. Okay, I think I got the color. I think I got the exact color these guys are using. All right, yeah, that's the color they're using. Probably going to go and use it for the bigger border section as well. All right, the last background that kind of remains is this guy. All right, again a different shade. Let's see, it's going to be somewhere at the very end. I think this is the one. Okay, so let me call it background to the chat container. All right, and here's the default value. Then I can kind of go ahead and this is the value for my light mode, so to speak of, and then I want my dark mode thingy here, right? So the dark mode, the color we picked from here, we're just going to go ahead and overwrite it. Okay, and there you go, guys, there you go. It is looking amazing. Again, just trying to get that one damn pixel correct. Okay, so that it looks good, so that it looks like the real thing. Okay, that's what we want. Okay, all right, okay, so close, guys, we're so close. Just need to get the text right. Okay, and yeah, and we have dark mode all ready to go. And then the last thing that we need to do, I keep telling you guys, again, for those of you who've joined us in the middle, all right, this is what we're doing. We're defining all of the colors using CSS variables. And why are we doing that? We're doing that so that we can add a class. Okay, we can add a class to the root container, the thing that's going to contain all of our other components. And in that class, I'm going to override all of the variables. So as long as the rest of the people are just looking at as long as the rest of the elements are all getting their styles from these variables, all right, it should be really easy for me to toggle it on and off. So if I just add the class, all the colors get overwritten, and the rest of the elements kind of just get the overwritten colors. Okay, I don't have to go and manually create a new dark mode style for every element. Okay, so that's one of the things that I really like about CSS variables. I hope you guys are having a fun time. I hope you guys are enjoying this too. Just a couple of things remain. All right, so I'm just going to check if you guys have some questions. Vinayak keeps asking me to make it responsive, Vinayak, but if you notice WhatsApp web, I mean, it is responsive enough, right? Is this what you meant? Because I'm not sure what you meant by responsive. If you meant that, you know, once I make it to something like a mobile width, you need it to collapse into, you know, just one box. I'm not sure the actual WhatsApp does that. Okay, so you can see that it's responsive in the sense that, you know, this container over here. So it's a grid, right? So half of it, you know, it's not going to change its size once you make things smaller. This guy is obviously responsive, changes its width according to the browser width. But if you extend it a lot more, then you see that this guy also expands. Okay, so using grids, you can make it pretty responsive. All right, so let's go ahead and add the text. Okay, so I'm going to say text user list name is something that we need to add for dark mode, right? So for dark mode, we're going to keep it to white. And let's go ahead and see where this is. This Anik. This is, I think, I think this is in dot name. I'm pretty sure that's where it is. Let's see. Let's add a color over here. And obviously all of this is, I mean, we need our value from the variable here, right? So I'm going to pick my value from the variable, and as you can see, we're getting a nice, again guys, I don't think this is exactly white. I think it's like some, I don't know, it's like some lightish gray. Oh man. What's a good color to give it then? Triple E is triple E, probably triple D or something. I'm not sure. You can probably check out the actual styles that WhatsApp web uses. Okay, in the light mode, obviously, you know, you don't want it to be too dark. Probably want it at like 222. Okay, so you've got this, you've got the border section all done, you've got the text user list name. So yeah, and then finally you need to have your preview, right? So let's go ahead and add that. Let's go ahead and add my preview. All right, and my preview earlier was what exactly? Let's see which color it was. Just need to sort this out, guys. Everything else looking great. Even this keep your phone connected. Okay, I think we'll sort that out too. Let's see. Preview is 666. Okay, which is what we don't want. Just gonna give it the same variable name that we've been using so far. Okay, so dark mode, it's going to be much darker than, I mean, it's going to be much lighter than this. So let's see, triple D, I don't know, something like 999 probably. Just make it a little darker. Okay, to make it look like this. So that looks great. Over here, obviously in the light mode, it was 666. Last thing we need to do is fix this keep your phone connected nonsense. That's the last of it. And oh, oops guys, so sorry. I think I forgot to switch back. ठीक है, no problems. I mean, I've pretty much been doing the same thing, just switching out colors. So yeah, so now that you have that done, let's see. We just need to get the color for this, extract it into a variable, and the entire color part of this whole thing, all right, that will pretty much be over. So yeah, let's go ahead and do that. There you go. This is where we have it. I could say something like, what should we call it? Text heading, text heading, chat heading or something. And then we can give a default value to this text chat heading. Go ahead and, kind of just define the text right up at the top. Let's do that. Whoops. So on the light mode, it's going to be 333, but in dark mode, I want it to be much darker than that. So I'm going to say something like CCC, and there you go. Keep your phone connected. There you go, guys. So if I remove the class here, it's all gone. And if I add the class dark, it's right back up. Okay, whew, nice. And we got it done pretty quickly as well, right? We got this done in, I don't know, I think around about 25-30 minutes. Oh yeah, I'm pretty happy with myself actually. We did well. Yeah, bit of a trouble there with me not changing the scenes, but you know what, it is what it is. Yeah, it's again, guys, I know this you've seen this screen for a long time now. Define all the colors, add the class for dark mode. What's remaining? We don't have a toggle, okay? You still have to go to the HTML, add your class, and only then it comes as dark mode. That's not fun. That's no fun, right? So we're going to do this, one beautiful thing, one final beautiful thing, and we'll have a full toggleable dark mode sort of setup ready, okay? And that is going to be kick-ass. All right, so the last thing that we need to do is add this toggle dark mode button, okay? So we're going to go ahead and do just that. Oh, okay. So a lot of banter between Avichal, who's constantly asking for Anik. Yeah, buddy, you might want to get his spelling right, by the way. It's not Anik with a K, it's Anik with a Q. He has a really fun name, really nice name. All right, guys, one last part to this whole thing, and we are done. Okay, this is going to be fantastic. Okay, so let's just go ahead and like add a button. Okay, and I'm going to add a button with the class dark mode toggle. Okay, and what do I want in that button? Again, you'll be able to see the button right down here. That's because the rest of the container is all 100%. It's going to take up all of the screen, so don't worry, that button is going to come. So let me just call it toggle for now. Okay, so you can see that right here, this tiny bit over here, okay, this toggle button. Obviously we don't want it to be right at the bottom. Makes no sense for it to be there. So we're going to say something like, button dark mode toggle. Okay, so this guy, first of all, get rid of your background. Okay, or even better, we could just call it something like okay, I'm just gonna not have a background, if that's all right. Okay, I'm not gonna have a background. I'm gonna have a color though. I'm gonna have text color, and that I think I'm going to keep as a. So I'm going to say text button toggle. Okay, so this is the text color for the toggle button. And if we don't have anything, I want it to be white. I don't know. And then finally, what I want is I want this guy to be absolutely positioned. Okay, and I want top 0 and I want right 0. All right, so you can see that it comes all the way over here. Probably don't want it all the way to the side. Let's see, let's just make it like a little bit like this. We don't want a border either. All right, so it's not going to have a border, and when you click on it, I need it to toggle dark mode, right? You know what's going to be even better is if I actually just use like a nice you know, like if I use like a nice icon. Okay, so let's see. So typically you want to have something like sun and a moon icon, I'm guessing. Okay, so let's just search for sun. I'm not sure if we're going to find like a sun item over here. Oh, okay, so there is a I don't know which one to pick. I think I'm going to go ahead and pick this this brightness 6. Oh, okay. Oh man, I think this is some like weird React icons repository that I went into. Oh, this is just dumb. Yeah, I think these are the icons that we want to search. Hate React. Okay, so let's search for like a nice sun icon. Okay, you got it here. I think I'm going to go with this brightness 4. I don't know. I mean, it looks okay. All right, and the way that the way that you add icons over here, okay, is that you say brightness 4. Is that the one? Oh, it's brightness underscore 4. And what you need to do here is you just need to add the class material icons. Okay, if you add the class on that span, it's going to add your button right here. Okay, so yeah, let's go ahead and do that, and probably I can increase the font size to about 1.5 rems. Okay, just make it a little bigger. Okay, so I have it this way. The one last thing that I want to do is I want to make the cursor as a pointer, so that people know that you can click this, and when you click on this, I want some JavaScript to run. Okay, so I'm going to give it the same ID as well. Okay, actually, you know what, I'm not going to give it a class name. I'm just going to give it an ID name. Okay, because it's literally going to be just this guy. Okay, so I'm going to select by ID. All right, the styles will still apply. Now for the fun part. Okay, the fun part of JavaScript. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to say that let's just store a mode here. Okay, called window.theme is light. And then what we're going to do is we're going to define a function called toggle theme. All right, and what toggle theme is going to do is if window.theme is light, okay, it's going to find out the container, the main container over here. Let's give that an ID as well. I'm just going to call it container. I'm feeling a little lazy. So yeah, let's call it container, and I'm going to select the container. Okay, I'm going to get it by its ID. All right. Yeah, just have a reference to this inside toggle theme. I'm saying that just get me the container first of all, and then if the window.theme is light, then I want you to so I'm basically I want this function to run when you click on this guy. All right, I want this function to run when you click on this guy. So when you click on this, I'm going to search. I'm going to check whether the window theme is light or not. All right, and if it is light, then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add like I'm going to add the dark class to the container. Okay, so I'm going to say container.classList.add dark. All right. However, So I could say, else, which means basically the window theme is already dark. I'm going to add the window theme to dark. I'm going to change it here. But if the window theme was already dark, right, then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to remove the dark class. I think it's remove. We'll find out in a bit anyway. All right, and then you obviously want to change the window theme, right, to light. So we have this. Just going to add a dark class over here. You have it right here. So we're going to start off where it's going to be a light mode to start off with, okay, and when this guy is light mode, I want to change the icon as well, okay. So let's just get the toggle button, all right, so that I can change it. Get element by ID, and I'm going to say, what is it, dark mode toggle? Yeah, I think it's dark mode toggle. And one last thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to say that the toggle buttons inner HTML, okay. So this final button, okay, I don't want it to be, I'm going to set it to a different string, okay, every time that it toggles. So just bear with me, all right. We're nearly there, okay. Instead of brightness 4, let me just search for, I don't know what to search for, like a moon icon, okay. Are we gonna get anything with a moon icon? I don't think so. Oh, okay, well, nothing for moon. I don't know. So what should we search for? How come moon isn't giving us anything? Yeah, okay, all right, we have it here. So this one's called Night's Stay. Interesting. And that's what I want here. Okay, so I wanted to become Night's Stay if the window theme is light, basically. Finally, what do I want it to be? So when it's in its normal sort of state, I want it to be of this color. When I click on it, again, I want this guy to change, and I want all the classes to get applied, right? So the last thing that remains is adding the container here. So we can probably get rid of these two. We can keep it globally. That's also fine. All right. And I can do something like this. I can do toggle button dot add event listener. All right. And for the click event, okay, I'm going to pass in the toggle theme function. All right. So when you click on it, I want it to run this function. So there seems to be an error here somewhere. Oh, okay. Oh man, that was bad. Okay, so we have like double quotes inside our HTML string as well as here. So that's where the trouble is coming. But yeah, now it should set it to this just fine. So let's see. So now if I click on this, there you go, guys. This is so cool. So there's a reason why this guy didn't change. Just one second. So if you want it to be dark themed, that's what you want to do, right? So you want to change the inner HTML. Okay, maybe I like missed out on one part or something. Let's see. So this is Night's Stay, and this is brightness 4. Oh, okay. Anyway, I mean, this works. There's a small bug over here. All right. I hope you've enjoyed this, guys, because this has turned out surprisingly well. This has turned out surprisingly well. It's pretty fun. Um, I hope you've enjoyed it. Um, that's that's pretty much it. Just got to be a little careful with with what you're doing. Okay. Again, coming back, it's a nice simple 3-step process. You can do this for any website that you're building. Try to define all of your colors using CSS variables. Keep them in the root selector. So right up at the top, you want to define all your colors using variables. And in the rest of the page, you will use the variables. You will not really use the colors. Okay. When you're switching around to dark mode, right? And then when you want to add dark mode, just add a class called dark or dark mode or dark mode container, whatever it is that you want to call it. Add it to the very top. Something like body would be really nice. WhatsApp Web actually does that. WhatsApp Web adds the dark class all the way up at the top. Funny thing, before WhatsApp actually released it as a feature, okay, before WhatsApp like added it into their code, you know how you can go inside and there's a settings menu, you can go in and change the theme. Before they added that toggle, they still released the dark mode colors thing. Okay, so it was there in their CSS, but it wasn't there as a feature. Okay, and then I don't know, somebody probably who goes through the source code of all these websites, you can too, it's pretty easy. But yeah, so somebody who went through it, they figured out that there were a lot of these variables, okay, CSS variables everywhere, and then they got a little excited and then they checked and then they found this class called as dark. All right, so I remember this clearly. So my colleague at Edyst, Ratnadeep, he comes up and he says, Abhi, I just I found a great hack for WhatsApp. You know what, I can make it dark mode without anything. I was like, come on, man, seriously, they haven't released a feature. I think it'll be all over the news by now. But then I don't know where Deep got it from, like probably he read about it somewhere, but he says, yeah, just go ahead and just add the dark class to your WhatsApp web. And turns out, guys, that's that actually ended up changing the entire the color scheme of the website. All right, so that was that was something fun and interesting for me to see as well. So that's how I came to know about dark mode. And then yeah, the CSS variable thing is where the magic is at. And finally, you just add a button. Okay, it's a cute little button. Position it absolute top right is where you want to keep it. And when you click on it, basically you want to check what theme you currently have. And if you have the dark theme, make it light, or just remove the class. If you remove the class, it's going to take the values from the root element. Okay, and if you don't have, if you have the light mode thing going on, you can go back and yeah, you can go back and you can just kind of click on it, and that will be it. It's going to just add the class to your container. That's how simple it is to build dark mode. You can do this for pretty much all of our webinars. Actually, you can do this for Slack. A good candidate would be the Cricinfo one. Okay, the Cricinfo live app. I think that would be really nice to go ahead and add a dark mode too. So I know what I'm going to be doing tomorrow. It's a national holiday, but for people who want to learn, who want to progress, who want to do good things in life, no holidays, guys. No resting till you're in a good job. So yeah, don't take tomorrow as a holiday. Do dark mode. Okay, don't make me run after you like your mother with a stick, forcing you to do good things for yourself. But yeah, go ahead and do that. Upcoming webinars, we look at the Twitter feed. Last time around, I had a very interesting suggestion. I forgot the name of the person who suggested it, but I really liked that they did. They said, go ahead and build the Dream 11 app. Okay, that's actually going to be really good. Okay, I am looking forward to it. I'm really excited about it. I hope you'd be excited as well. It's IPL season. Okay, I don't know who it is that you guys support. I'm a Delhi boy. Okay, I don't know, call me an idiot, but I like Delhi. Okay, that's yeah, that's one of the decisions I made early on in my IPL watching career, and now I have to suffer for it. Hopefully, Mr. Pant and Mr. Iyer will get us some runs. I don't know, but yeah, looking forward to getting them both in my dream team version, my Dream 11 app that I will build in the next webinar or the webinar after that. So looking forward to having Pant and Iyer in my team. Definitely going to have I don't know, I'm gonna have Russell or somebody. Anyway, as I said, if you've been with us this while, I told you I'll talk about the Webmaster Bootcamp in a little more detail towards the end of the thing. Okay, there's not a lot for me to kind of convince you about. It's a fantastic program, okay, built with lots of love. There are hundreds and hundreds of exercises. We teach you like at Edyst, that's the motto, right? You teach people using exercises. Okay, we want to make you guys put in the hard work, and watching a video is not hard work. Okay, don't give me that. Don't convince yourself that, hey, you know what, I watched 8 hours of videos from this course. I don't know, I don't think that is hard work. Hard work is when you actually go ahead and do something after the video. All right, the best courses in the world, the courses that you will get the best value out of, have this element of repeated practice. Okay, actionable practice. Oh, you watched a video on HTML form elements. Here are 5 examples, or here are 5 exercises. Okay, go ahead, check it out. Oh, this test case was wrong. So basically what you have for competitive programming using HackerRank or at Edyst, all the variety of courses that we do at Edyst, all of that feeling, okay, wherein you go and you learn by doing. You would have seen Anik do all of his exercises on the Edyst platform, right? We built something like that for the web as well, to teach you web development, backend web development, databases. So it's all there, guys. It's all there. It's a intense 3 to 6 month bootcamp, depending on how desperate you are, how dedicated you are. It's a very job oriented bootcamp. We don't get into, oh, I'm going to teach you this because it's good for your good for learning purposes. To me, that's all well and good, but I really want this bootcamp to be for people who want a job, who want their first job as a web developer. Again, I don't like using the word full stack, front end, back end. When you're just starting out, you can't start out as a full stack web developer. The thing itself doesn't make sense to me. But that's how the market is. Okay, companies will come ahead and say, hey, you know what, yeah, I want a full stack fresher, and half the times I want to look at them and say, boss, what is it that you mean? What is a full stack fresher? You mean to say they need to know front end, they need to know back end, they need to know databases, they need to know deployment, they need to know CI/CD, they need to know like shell scripting, they need to know server management. What is it that you want a fresher to do? Turns out companies don't really want that. Okay, companies are basically saying, guys, can you just get me someone who can write code? I have had enough of these people show up for interviews who have no experience with HTML, CSS. They say they've done some certification, but they can't write a single line of code. They can't build a single website. That's where we don't want you guys to be. Okay, we want you guys to walk into these interviews full of confidence, look the interviewer in the eye and say, boss, I'll tell you what, you don't have to look at my resume. Here's my GitHub profile. Go ahead, check out these 4 full stack web applications. You're not satisfied with my code, go ahead and look at all the applications I've deployed. So you can actually end up giving them URLs to look at. And I think, yeah, that's such a fantastic conversation starter, right? I mean, nobody's advising you to go be that arrogant in front of the interviewer. I'm just saying it's that kind of a feeling that you should walk into an interview with, right? You know what, boss, I've got code on GitHub. I've done 3 full stack web applications from scratch. I might not know everything in the world, but I know a little bit of React. I know a little bit of Flask. I know just enough to be able to combine them to make like a blogging platform or like a photo sharing platform like Instagram, right? I've done this. I've done 3 of these. All right. So I think I'm a good fit. I'm a good hire for your company. That's the kind of confidence we want you to go into this after you're done with the bootcamp. That's the kind of confidence we want you to have. And because of that, we make you go through a rigorous training for 3 to 6 months. There are a few live classes per week, but mostly it's self-paced. We have a bunch of exercises, and as we speak, the team is adding more and more. I'm not sure if Venkat is on the call. Venkat is one of our mentors. Okay, fantastic fellow. Every time that I do one of these webinars, he's always saying, so can I just please go ahead and make an exercise out of it? I think students will benefit. So he's that kind of a person, okay? He's genuinely looking out for people. He doesn't want you to come to these webinars and just, look at a boring webinar and go back. We actually want to give you an exercise. So if you come onto the Edyst platform, if you join the playground, you'll find exercises like this on Linux, on HTML, on CSS. Hopefully you find it fun. And you continue with us. Last but not the least, guys, bunch of webinars that we keep on doing. This is LinkedIn Jobs. This was the Cricinfo app. This was the Netflix app, the PUBG leaderboard, the Modern Resume. The links are in the description below. If they're not in the description, because I might have forgotten to add it, you're on the Edyst channel. Like, share, subscribe, and the YouTube recommendation algorithm will tell you, it'll just recommend more of these fun webinars that we've done in the past. That's all from my side. We did Slack last week, so in case you guys have any questions about that, any doubts about that, please feel free to talk to us at team@Edyst. You guys don't do enough of that, all right? Just sit at home trying to do this by yourself, which is great. But if you talk to us, if you share your thing with us, we'd be more than happy to give you feedback. All right, so that's pretty much it from my side. Just going to see if you have some comments, if you wanted me to address something, and if not, I'll kind of see you in just a bit. So, okay, Ratna, thank you so much. Srihari, Ratna, fantastic. Shivangi, hey, nice to see you too. Srihari, is toggle button.inner.html equal to night stay on the last part? I think so. I don't know. Pretty sure I did add it like over here. Let's see. So if the window theme is dark, then I wanted to set it to a dark mode and add this. Okay. Holy cow. This is where I mess up, guys. God, I hate JavaScript for stuff like this. Okay, small typo. All right, I was supposed to change the inner HTML of the toggle button and not toggle. Okay, all right, my bad. This is on me. All right, so now you click on it. There you go, dark mode. Click on it, light mode, dark mode, light mode, dark mode, and so on. Yeah. So Shriyari, yeah, nice catch. Shivangi apparently is. Oh, okay. So my own team is asking me when I'll make WhatsApp responsive. Guys, this WhatsApp is responsive, is what I'm telling you. This is a responsive WhatsApp. So I don't know what it is that you mean when you say you want to make it responsive. Do you want it to like collapse into one column? If that is the case, then I'll probably do it on something other than WhatsApp, because for WhatsApp we don't really have the mocks. If you go to web.whatsapp.com, that isn't responsive. Okay, that's meant to be viewed on a screen, on a laptop screen. So even if you kind of squeeze it in, all right, the thing doesn't change, it doesn't realign, it doesn't reorient, doesn't do any of that. It's responsive in the sense that when you make it smaller, the width of different things adjusts differently. Okay, so this for instance will have the minimum width set to something, and then when you have enough space, then also it will just have a maximum width set to something. All right, that's pretty much it for this webinar, guys. I'm going to leave you with this small demo, because I don't know about you, but I seem to have fallen in love with my own project. Okay, I didn't know it would turn out to be this amazing. Yeah, I had a lot of fun building this. I hope you had a lot of fun building this. If you did not build it with me, which is a huge mistake, tomorrow is a national holiday. I'm telling you again, Gandhi Jayanti. Be good boys and girls. Please go, spare some time, build this. You'll have a kick-ass project for, you'll just have a wonderful project to show in interviews, etc. Okay, so go ahead and do this on the weekend. Feel free to hit us up at team@Edyst or join the bootcamp, and then I'll be there on the chat. So Edyst has like a chat of its own. You can go ahead and you can talk to us there. All right. That's about it from my side. I know I've said this a bunch of times by now, but yeah, I'm gonna go now. All right. I'll see you in the next webinar, guys. Have a wonderful weekend. Stay learning. Keep learning. Stay positive.